right, y'all. Hold on to your butts, because the butt puckering factor is about to hit level 10 on this one. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out and riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic. And we're out in Jawbone, hitting up one of the hardest trails out here. Been wanting to do it for a while, and it starts right off the road. You saw the main road right there. Bam, straight into the trail. You don't even have to go far to find it. But this is the level 10 black diamond, and it gets to a point where it's beyond black, where it is a team effort to get your bike through the obstacle. Very rutted out. If you guys haven't known, Jawbone has had some heavy rains here about a month ago, and it is rutted out like I've never seen it. Just the water washing out has created massive ruts. In fact, the area was closed. You couldn't even get in for a long time. They had to get all the mud off the road. The mudslides you drive through were over the height of the windshield of the truck. So they had massive mud flows covering up the roads. And a lot of the valley's terrain's actually changed. And they still have signs that are buried up in mud. Like the top of the sign, it'd be like 5 feet tall and just buried. Just crazy. Anyways, folks, I've been wanting to do this hard trail for a long time. And I attempted it 2 years ago with my other buddy, Kyle. And we got to you'll see it, the hardest section here, and we turned around. But today, we got Ashton right there from Grizzly Moto. He's on a 300 beta, and then behind him, we got Kyle. I think in the early 80s, Kyle had to be the most popular boy name, because I got a lot of buddies all named Kyle. Anyways, we're all three crazy guys, and I told them it's going to be tough. And they're just like, all right, let's go. I like that. They're at my level of craziness where I'm like, it's going to get insanely hard, and they don't bat an eye. They're just like, bring it. And it's going to be bright today. A lot of it's mind games. Like right here, here's a really intimidating, rocky climb right here. It's a small little shoot up. You just got to give it the gas. And don't stall the bike. And she climbs right up. It's a lot of this is just a mental game. The bike, of course, the bike can do it. It's can you do it? Can you mentally get over, conquer your kind of fear, I guess?
I ain't got those long legs.
Yeah, I got the advantage of having a little bit longer legs. Ashton's up. There's Kyle getting up. Well done. I'm telling you, folks, it don't look that much, I guess, on the camera, but when you're there, it's very intimidating because you got the rock drop-offs on each side. But it's only getting harder, folks. Like, it's about to go nuts up here. That rocky outcrop about 11 o'clock there. We have to go on the shadowy side of it, and it is intense. Should have gave it a little bit more gas there. I'm telling you, it's a steep drop-off there. It's not a cliff, but it really slopes down fast. And you feel yourself kind of leaning towards the high side of the mountain because you just don't want to fall left. Like running a VE33S, it's almost about done. It is very worn down. Still getting good traction, but it's on its last ride. So next ride I'll be swapping out tires here. Coming up, we got the start of just the insanely hard section right through here. You see, it's almost unrideable, I think. I mean, we get through it, but I like to see someone at a much higher skill level than me get through this. Oh, got a rock to move out, folks. Yeah. Did my good deed for the day. Got one rock out of the trail. It's one less rock you guys have to ride through when you're coming up. All right, it's going to be tricky to get up here. You got this little crack your front tire's going to go through. I got to pick up the back end, move the back end up a little bit. So I'm getting off the bike and pushing here. On the left, I mean, you can just, that is a massive drop off to the left, very steep slope. So you don't want to lose your bike left there. I mean, look at that, it's just nuts. You can't fall left right there. And I can't loop the bike out. Like if you loop the bike out here, it's tumbling down 300 feet all the way to the bottom. It's not going to stop rolling. Holding traction. Just getting inch by inch. Now there's a couple of rocks that my swing arm is catching on, and it's making it difficult just to pop up and over. But I'm doing all right. Get up here, finally Ashton comes up, gives me the old tire pull from the front. And it doesn't get, once you get up here, it doesn't get any easier. It just steps it up a notch, actually. So to get up this next section, we decided to get the toe strap out, which I think is a smart move for us amateur guys. It's a little bit safer. So the way a toe strap works, if you guys haven't used one before when you're going uphill, you don't want to put high on the handlebar. You want that toe strap to be almost where the axle is on your front tire, because if you put it high, it makes that front end push down. So it's hard to pop your front end up to get over a rock or a little ledge or a step up like that. So you put it on the fork tube. That way it slides down as close to that axle point on the front tire. So when you're pulling it, whoever's in front,
Put it right there in that little crack.
yeah, see, I still gotta like maneuver the front tire over. So that just allows that front end to stay light, and I can still pop the front end left and right if I need to. But in this scenario, we're on a cliffside, definitely helps out tremendously. Like if we were just pushing the bike, it would have been a lot more difficult. So I keep my little toe strap buddy there on my handlebars. If you guys don't have one, I recommend getting it. See that little blue bag right there? There it is, my little buddy toe. Just put it on the handlebars, and I'm telling you, you never know when you're gonna need it. If your bike's broke or your buddy's bike's broke, you're out of gas, or you just gotta pull your bike up the side of a cliff like we're doing right now, you'll have it with you. I am so gassed. By the time I get up here, I am breathing so hard. I cut out all the little breast brakes and everything, but that was tough. To get up here, got to put down my handstand. Husky doesn't make kickstands, they make handstands. You can't get your foot on that sucker. So I got to use my hand every time. It's a finger stand. You got to use your fingers to pull it down. So I wanted to show just a battle of how we're getting these bikes up here. You pull up a little bit, move up to the next ledge, pull a little bit, move up to the next ledge, pull a little bit. Just getting a foot at a time. And this is very steep. I don't know if the camera shows you just how steep this is. Like it's hard to walk it. Like walking down, I was worried about tripping and just tumbling down this rock right here. We're making progress though. Ah, look at that good looking jersey, y'all. Look at that, man. I get my jerseys custom made through Canvas MX. If you guys want to get your own look while you ride, head on over to Canvas MX and you can completely design everything about the jersey. You can do everything you want to put on there. You can do it online. And that's what I like about it, because I don't have to go back and forth through a designer. Tell me what I got to do or not do. I can just do it all myself. Hit submit. They send me a proof, and I approve it, and then it's made. It does take a little while to get it made, but it's worth it, folks. Let's go, Georgie. You can do it. Come on, buddy. I'm struggling. I can't even walk up now. I'm so gassed. We just did 7 hours of riding the day before, so this is back-to-back hard riding. I was pretty tired. My reserves were low. All right, let's get back to riding here. This ain't no hiking channel. This channel, we ride dirt bikes here. I was hoping for a little break, though. But I didn't get this trail. I'm telling you, this trail just kept bringing it over and over again. It was awesome. If you guys like riding the hard stuff, come find the Gatekeeper here, and it's going to put you to the test. Be smart about it, though. I don't want you guys tumbling down that rock back there. At the hospital, telling your buddies, well, I saw George from Hardcore Enduro doing it, so I thought I could do it. And then you're in the hospital. Don't do that. Be smart about your riding. Ride to survive. That's what I do. Play smart. Yes, we take chances. Riding a dirt bike is dangerous, you know. If you go to the track, if you go to a local MX track, you're just as likely to hurt yourself there as anywhere else. Going off of some massive 100-foot tabletop, trying to hit the double, hit the triple. I mean, that's scary. I don't want to do it. I'm much more comfortable on the side of a cliff up here than I am at a track trying to hit massive jumps. I loved it when I was young. As a young rider, you live for the jumps. But as an older rider now, I don't want to do the jumps. I just want to do the trail riding with the scary cliffs to my left and right. Teach their own. All right, we're going down here back into the creek. We got to cross over to the other side. And we got a nice little, another short little chute up the opposite side of the bank. And it looks almost straight up. And I'm looking for the trail. And I don't see it, but I see a little ledge up there 12 o'clock high. I can see there's a ledge going across. I'm like, I think you just shoot up right there, that face right there, that's it. There we go, just give some throttle, shoot on up. Get that rear tire up, there we go. Nicely done, Georgie. That's a pat in the back on that one. Always aim with the rear, folks. You think, where does a rear tire need to get? Especially when you're doing a little short climb, little chute like that. You need to get that rear tire up to the ledge because you'll see Ashton and Kyle don't quite get that rear tire high enough. And so they have to push their bike a little bit. And just a little bit scared being off. You know, I got to grab his bike there. He's up, but if you can see his rear tire, if he gets up another 2 feet right there, which is just a tiny bit more blip of the throttle, then he doesn't have to get off and push. It just saves you some energy right there. And after we just spent all our energy back pushing up the Gatekeeper, you see Kyle's same thing. Should have got just a little bit higher. But up is up, and these little climbs can be very intimidating. And trying to bring in enough momentum so that you get up to the top, it's tricky, you know. Saw this big overhang here, grassy bottom. Made me think of Luke of the Outdoor Boys. I'm like, if he was here, he'd probably camp right there. You get nice reflective heat off the rock right there, protects you from the wind. I'm just in this dirt bike camp mode. I'm constantly looking at where I want to camp with the dirt bike. Going through this big old boulders here. You gotta go right. There's this really tight little gap between that dark rock there and this big old rock to the left there. I get hung up on the bash plate. One of the cons of having the bash plate does stick out a little bit more than if you just had a regular pipe guard. It's got about a ½ inch further out, so those really tight. You can see how tight that is, and that's why I don't want saddlebags when I do my hard enduro tent camping trip. Some of these tight little squeezes, I mean, ½ an inch matters. At least that's what my wife tells me all the time. It's hard to find the trails sometimes through here. No one's ridden in here in a long time. And the trail goes over these rocks, and I'm looking left and right, and sometimes the trail just looks like it disappears. Plus, you had all that heavy rain. A lot of the trails just washed away. So trying to find the rut of the trail is a little tricky. See, I'm looking around left and right. I'm like, where's this go? Oh, there it is, off to the right. In the opposite direction here. It caused me to lose my momentum. I get down in here in this sandy wash, and yeah, I'm not getting any traction. And there's a little ledge I get up there, and now I'm having to dig in the back tire and push. I'm like, oh, dang it. Like, would have kept some momentum going. It really wasn't hard right there, but momentum is king, folks. If you can keep the flow going, it just makes getting through obstacles so much easier. Just beautiful day to ride up here. Temperature's nice and cool. There was a slight breeze coming through the canyon here. Sun is out. Dust was low. I mean, it's just a beautiful day to ride. Oh, where are you going? Trail dips back into the creek. So fun going in and out of the creek here. Trail's just so rustic. You can see just no one's been here in a long time. Trixie's handling great. There's a little bit of water down the creek, making it a little bit slippery. Shoot on up. All right, got a 511 special. First one of the day, folks. That's where you get your weight back as far as you can. Then you're gonna throw your hips forward, your head forward, drop the clutch. Helps the bike get on over, get in front of the bike. 511 special, that's what I call it. Rich, I learned everything from Rich. He calls it the unstuck technique, but I think he should just take ownership of it and call it the 511 special, because no one teaches it better than he does. If you guys need to learn dirt bike, hard enduro riding techniques, go visit him, the RC Tire Guy. He is the best about teaching how to ride a dirt bike, how to become one with the dirt bike. That's really what he's doing. Building dirt bike and rider relationships. A little bit of a steep climb up the bank right there. You see how I did that kind of rock back and forward. I went up, rock back, just kind of helps pack in that sand, especially that, you know, sandy, even if it's loose dirt, something like that. It helps just to go over it once, kind of packs it in a little bit, and then sometimes you might feel a little rock on you, so then you know if you got to move the back end over, and then you have a little bit of momentum start just to shoot up that bank. Just waiting for the boys. I think they thought I went up the creek, so I had to wait for them a little bit, but they soon joined up, and then we're off and riding again. Now, we weren't able to complete the whole trail today. There is, towards the top, you'll see it when we get there, there's another washed out section that looks very intense. It's almost as bad as the Gatekeeper was, which if you want to call the Gatekeeper the front gate, and this would be the rear gate, because it's just as bad, just as intense. But we're just crunched on time, so I was like, all right, let's keep going here, and we bypassed it, which I kind of feel bad. I feel like, all right, well, we didn't do the whole trail. But we still got some hard riding in anyways, which that's what we're all about here. Up here, swing a left, trail goes off left high. I overshot it, went down the creek, and had to come back. Get back on trail, y'all. Coming up, I lose a trail again. Like you can tell, just no one's been on this trail in a while. Got grass and everything growing on it. Ashton went up ahead. He's off to the right there, but then I see it up left here, sneaking up the mountainside. Very cool. It comes around. It's going to go under that crevice of that eave of the rock there. Big old overhang. You ride right under it. Such a cool trail, folks. You want a nail-biter trail that's going to work you to death, come up here to Jawbone. Hit up the Gatekeeper. It is no joke.
That's pretty cool.
I love it. It's such a unique terrain getting through. After the ride today, we went back to the Jawbone little store, restaurant over there. They have, you know, where they got gas and all that kind of thing. Anyways, Gary was there, and Gary has been riding here for a long time, and he says he's gone down this trail. I said, well, we went up it. And he's like, oh, man, that must have been really tough. And I'm like, yeah, no, it was really tough. But going down sometimes can be just as hard, except you got gravity with you. And actually, it's like more intimidating just because you always have that feel of going over the bars. Right here, got this off-camber spot. It slides off to the right there. Stay on the line. Don't trust in the tires. Got that VX40 in the front, very kind of a soft tire, not a gummy front, but it's just a soft front tire, grips great on the rocks. I run a plushie in the front, which I'm thinking about actually getting a platinum in the front, just to stiffen up the front a little bit. The front does seem to roll. You can notice it, not in the rocky terrain here, I don't notice it, but when you go on the flatter, faster terrain, I notice the front end rolls on me a little bit.
Yeah, I made it.
And I think having a just stiffer moose in there would take that roll sensation away. You can still leave, you know, plenty of grip and everything for the rocks. So coming up, the trail's gonna split, and there's a trail going off to our left, and then the main trail continues on to the right, but it continues on to that washed out area, which I'm calling it the back gate. And it would be, we could get through it, especially three of us using the tow strap, but it is just extremely difficult at this point. And I'm like, we don't have all day. We got to be back to the rig. Got to be out of here by 1 actually. So we got to be back to the rig, you know, about 12:30 or so. That way we can pack up everything and hit the road. Got to get back home to the wife before she pulls all her hair out, going insane watching the kids all by herself. Got to keep that wife happy. Happy wife keeps me riding. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with that. So that's all I got. Anyways, up to the left, about 11 o'clock, we're going to shoot up that big monster climb coming up in a bit. But first, we got to go show you guys, I guess the upper gate. I mean, that makes the most sense. Just call it the upper gatekeeper and the lower gatekeeper. I mean, the whole trail's the gatekeeper, except you got the main gates. You got the upper gate and the lower gate. So we're going over to the upper gate. And you get over here and you think the trail just disappears. But it's there. You just got to have big old cojones to get up this. You need a couple of crazy people to catch your bike. I mean, it's a nasty little climb. It's a small climb, but it's there. Looking on video here, of course, don't look as bad. The camera always kind of flattens things out, but I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, maybe we could have hit it. But at the time, it looked insane. I was like, nope, we're not doing it. We're going to go back and find another route. So here we are coming in. And the route is straight ahead. On the opposite side of the bank, it goes straight up that. Now I'm gonna get off and walk just to make sure. I'm like, maybe there's another line that I'm not seeing. And I'm gonna walk first. I do that a lot, just kind of doing some recon, walking down. I don't want to get down here with the bike and then get stuck and be like, well, I shouldn't have gone down here. So bike would go through here. I'm like, all right, I could do this, could do this. I'm like, all right, where does the trail go from here? Got some nasty rocks to the left. Got a waterfall there to the right and right there. So that's the route right up through that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. It looks pretty bad on camera still. So I think we did the right thing. We turn around right here, making a U-turn on the side of a cliff. It's always a little tricky. Just don't loop out the bike. And don't let the rear tire fall off the track either. So if you get that rear tire below the line there, you'll have to push. It's hard to make a U-turn there.
Right through here.
Yeah, so we rode all the way back to where it split. Now we got this big hill climb coming up. So I get down here and I see the main line, it's all rutted out, and I'm like, if I just go to the left, I'd get fresh dirt and I think I'd get better traction. But it starts digging out on me. I'm like, oh no, am I gonna get stuck? So I give it a little bit, I get off, give it a little bit push, and then I'm gonna side hill it around here because I know I can make a switchback if I need to get back on the line here. So I'm waiting the outside peg with my left foot, dabbing down with my right foot, and trying to keep that bike upright. I know Rich talks about that. If you lean your bike into the hillside, you get less footprint for your tire, and it's more likely to spin out on you and drop the rear end down. So you want to lean the bike out, keep that footprint of the tire as big as possible. It's still going to slide on you, but not as much if you were to lean that bike into the hillside. Anyways, get on up here. Back on the line, very rutted out. Just keep the momentum going, keep climbing. Got that R-Enduro easy clutch system there, and it is so nice for climbs like this where you just gotta feather the clutch. You can really just hold it, your finger doesn't get tired. Now the trail goes up to the left right here, and I look right, and you can see, so the trail goes left right there through the nasty rocks, but I look right, and I'm like, I see the flat hill climb. So I'm gonna get after it. Let's go, girl. Let's go, Trixie. Yeah, letting her sing, folks. And she's up. Well done, girl. I was so proud of her. I was like, hell yeah, I just saved myself a ton of energy. Doing some switchbacks on that trail back there, or just shooting straight on up. I was just so proud of her. Here comes Ashton up a different ridgeline. He's gonna let that beta sing.
Damn.
He's climbing up.
Hardcore.
It is. I think he's, what gear is he in? Is that, it sounds like a, I mean, it looks like a first gear. Maybe he's in second gear. It's hard to tell. These are big hill climbs, and he climbs a lot higher in elevation than I am, so he can just side hill and come back. Here comes Kyle. He's taking my line. And he just starts a little too slow. He doesn't have enough momentum. And he starts getting to the main climb portion, and he's just not carrying enough momentum, so his back tire is just digging in. And he ends up pushing his bike from there all the way to the top. I mean, that guy's endurance is incredible right now. Trixie looking good. She's just modeling, posing up here on top of this ridge line.
Alright.
Took a little breather right there, had a snack. You can hear the wind, nice cool breeze going over the top there, which was
Well,
refreshing.
go where I go.
Famous last words, go where I go. Then after just having that amazing hill climb, I'm gonna throw it all out the window and do a really crummy job on the next hill climb coming up. Should have stayed high, right at the base of this rock right here. Should have just hung up next to it and stayed up on the ridge line. Then you would have been a lot higher, would have made the climb a little bit easier, but I'm cutting across on the trail here, and it connects, it joins up with another trail that just shoots straight on up, but it's so rocky, rutted out, and I'm like, this is gonna be difficult. Cross over that one, still side hill over. We're gonna get to this trail over here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, 2 years ago, me and my other buddy Kyle, we went up this, a very hard, rocky climb. But the recent rains have just really made this trail really gnarly. Right here, you can see how looking up here, the ruts are huge. I'm like, that's gonna be a battle and a half. Like, that's gonna take us out. So you start heading back, and you see that line off to the 1 o'clock there. I should have hit that up, but I'm gonna side hill over, waiting the outside peg, just starting to get some momentum. Should have just kept on going. Instead, I shoot on up, and I just don't have enough momentum that if I get on the gas, I can feel that back tire just starting to dig in. So I'm gonna shoot over again. I'm trying to get that momentum going. You see Ashton coming along. Get up again, and once again, I'm just not going quick enough. That back tire is digging in. You can see Ashton now. He's up to the top already. I'm like, all right. Stop trying to do a shortcut here, George. Just get all the way over. Get that momentum established. Come on. Just had that amazing hill climb back the previous climb, and now I'm struggling up here, and the boys are up before I am. It starts to flatten out. I should get a lot more aggressive on the throttle right now. I tried to, but still digging in, I guess. My tire's very worn down. Like, the knobs on it there's no edge on the front. It's just all sloping back. And Ashton actually didn't get all the way to the top. I thought he was, but he wasn't. Anyways, gonna cut back. One more switchback, folks. There we go. Ashton dropped down, and we're gonna head on over. Kyle took a high line up there, and he's up already. So I'm waiting the outside peg, dabbing with the inside foot. Here comes the line. Get the rear tire up on the line. Don't stop. All right, once the rear tire's on the line, now I'm gonna pivot over. The soil's loose, so I'm trying to get a little momentum to get going here, and you can see that back tire's digging in a little bit, so I'll rock back and forward, reestablishing the momentum here. Come on, Trixie, get on up, girl. Ooh, popping a wheelie there. I guess it's pretty steep. Steeper than it looks. All right, Kyle went to the left. I'm gonna try this one. I see the rocks in the rut. I'm like, I can get some traction if I hit these rocks right. There you go. All right, made it to the top, folks. Yeah. Ew. Now this part of the trail I have ridden before 2 years ago, so I knew what to expect. And I can tell that my level of comfort of riding is higher than it was 2 years ago, because at this point I was like, I don't know, to me it's kind of normal riding. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. I don't know how Kyle and Ashton felt, but I wasn't as intimidated as I was 2 years ago. That being said, I ain't letting my guard down. You know, you stay on your A game, folks. This is some intense, extreme riding right here. Now right here, I'm gonna be standing on the outside peg, and I keep my left foot really light. And I'll be foot dabbing with my left foot, with my right foot, you know, keeping all the weight on the peg. That allows me to dab quickly on the inside foot if I need to, and it keeps the traction down, power down to the rear tire right there. Nice, little bit of a flow right here. Catch your breath, get that heart rate down. Gonna drop down into the valley now. I'm looking online. I think we can go straight there. See that shiny rock, 12 o'clock? I think you can go right up and over that, and you don't have to dip down into the valley, which we were doing here. I think you can stay up on that ridge line. Next time I go through here, I'm gonna check that part out. I think it's doable. As we're dropping down in here, the canyon we're coming up to, that would be the canyon we would have been coming up, where I got out and walked and said, hell no, this looks too nuts for me, too crazy.
Yucca.
No, the yuccas, they stab you, and it goes right through the jersey, folks. Those little leaves are needle sharp. Anyways, drop down in here. I thought about going down to explore just to take a look where we, how far that trail goes, but it looks pretty intense. I mean, how doable is it? It's still washed out now from all the water. I don't know. Yeah, right there. So we would have came up that. It looks gnarly, so another trip, Jawbone just has so many gnarly sections, but by far that trail is one of the hardest in Jawbone. Yeah, you got extreme hill climbs all over the place, which are really difficult, but as far as a trail ride, I think that canyon, that's probably one of the hardest in the whole place. Very soft, rutted out climb. And I get up here and I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be too much work. So I'll drop back down into the creek because I know it's gonna connect. We're gonna go up to the right. So I'm not gonna force this battle off to my left. I'm like, man, this is not worth it. We're gonna go up to the right anyways. And I know the trail connects up right here. So drop back down into the creek. And this climb up to the right, it got me last time when I was here 2 years ago with Kyle. It got me. Once again, it's gonna have my number. It gets me again. And I'm gonna do a series of switchbacks to get on up. Ashton goes down, makes several runs at it, but then he has to jump in line hitting the switchbacks. Which is good, You watch hard enduro guys, man, Len Beckler, Billy Ball, all the top guys, they got to do switchbacks too. And they're really steep, hard, the loose, crumbly soil. They'll end up making their own switchbacks, burning in a line. You can just see how rutted out it is. Now, I do wish I would have gone down and gave it a second run, because I think at the beginning I could have been a lot more aggressive on the throttle. But I get up here, and I'm going to start doing switchbacks. Which I don't know if this is the wisest choice. Waiting the outside peg, trying to push that bike away. Once again, you push the bike away from the hillside, kind of feels unnatural, but you want that tire print to be as big as possible, getting the most traction. I'm off the bike doing a little pivot turn where you pop the front end, pop, kind of work that front end around. Now I'm heading back the other direction here. And honestly, this is good training right here, learning how to do switchbacks up a crumbly rock. You do this in Silver Kings. They got the switchbacks there, and you can get on the main line, but you also can make your own switchback line. There is no rules about it. If you can make your own line, do it. Somebody had to make the first one. It wasn't a switchback until someone started one. As you're cutting across, you got to be easy on the throttle. You don't want that rear end just sliding all the way down on you. We get up here, it starts flattening out, and I'm like, all right, I can just shoot up from here. Made a couple tries at it, didn't get it, and I'm like, all right, one more series of switchbacks, and then we've conquered this. So get over here once again, light on the throttle, keeping that wheel spin very low, waiting the outside peg there. You can see that's what I was trying to do. Where Kyle is right now, I just tried to do that. You can see that rear end, it's just too soft. You start without having some momentum. It's just very soft. You're digging in. So one more switchback. Get over here to the main rutted line. And you can see there's some rocks sticking out. So I'm gonna hop in there. And from here, I'm gonna be able to get up to the top end now. It wasn't pretty, folks, but that's some good training right there. Getting some good switchbacks in, controlling the rear tire spin, controlling the throttle, and getting up an obstacle. Sometimes there's just no way around it. You got to put in some switchbacks to get up the loose, rocky hill climb. Well done, Georgie. You deserve a break. Now assume that hard enduro race position. There you go, buddy. Hand over the bars, gulping in air. That's 90% of my hard enduro racing right there. Just that position. All right, catch your breath, and then let's keep on going. This ride's almost over. Let's go. We're almost to the end, folks. Thanks for being patient. Sometimes this hard terrain is really hard to watch because it's so slow. But I'm telling you, when you're up there, it's amazing. And getting through the obstacles is such a sense of accomplishment for a rider. One last hard hill climb to get through right up here. Once you got some momentum going, don't slow down. Just carry the momentum up here. It's a gnarlier climb than it looks, but this is where that momentum just helps you out so much. So right here, just get on the gas. All the mistakes of the hill climbing I did earlier, throw that out the window. Just stay on the gas right now. Keep that momentum going. It's real rocky. Don't go left. Stay in the rocks here. You get a lot more traction. And you're up. If you would have went left back there, you would have been in the sandy spot. You would have lost traction, and you'd probably be stuck pushing. Just stay to the right. Stay in the rocks. Ashton's gonna come for a pass on the outside. Yeah, I love it. Get some. So we come out to where the Big Four mines kind of abandoned mine is. Big flat area. Got some debris around. I was hoping to take these guys to the peak next to Chuck Walla Peak. There's a sign-in box that I haven't signed in yet, and I wanted to do that today, but this trail turned out to be a little harder than I was expecting. I mean, I knew it was going to be hard, but it really worked us over. So we didn't make that. We ended up kind of a little bit short, and so we just go off to the right, go down back the hill on an easy double wide track. Wasn't too hard getting back to the main road and back to the rig. Once we get back to the rig, there's a guy next to our rig, and he's doing a big hill climb. And I like parking where I park. I call it the horseshoe. I park by the horseshoe in Jawbone. I don't know what else to call it, but it's just surrounded by giant hill climbs, which are fun to watch other people. I like watching other people do the hill climbs. A lot of fun. So here's that abandoned Four Mines area right here. It's an easy spot to tell people to meet up if you're gonna meet somewhere. It's flat, big open ground. Those are those guys from Huntington Beach. Anyways, we go all the way back to the rig, and I see this guy doing the hill climb over here, and his buddy's up on the hill. I'm like, all right, let's see what you got.
Hell yeah.
Dude, try it out.
So he's on a Honda 450 there. This is a big hill climb. It is steep. It's all sandy though. It's a very sandy climb. The big ones off to the left I've done. They're just as big as gnarly, but they're so rutted out. All right, let's see what Trixie can do. It's all out, just wide open throttle. So I'm gonna come in fourth, and I can feel fourth just doesn't have the power. So I'm coming in fourth. I'm gonna shift it into third real quick. Wide open throttle. So this is wide open third gear. There's second gear right there. Wide open. And I think if I had a fresh tire or an M5B, I think she would just keep on going. I think I would have made the top. Well done, Trixie.
Ew. Need more power.
I always need more power when it comes to hill climbs. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed it. Ashton's gonna make his way up here.
That's what Jawbone's all about.
Yeah, he's getting the taste of the Jawbone hill climbs. If you guys like hill climbing, Jawbone's where it's at. They're just massive hills out here. Well done, Ash. All right, folks. Till next video comes out, get out, ride, and get some. Ew.